And then after I came back from that week in Omega, I started thinking a little bit more about vocal improvisation as a practice and becoming more conscious about it, and that there were other people that were doing it. And I began sharing some of my ideas with other people, and then I began practicing on my own. And I discovered lots of different, let's say, aspects to this personal practice. And I'm just gonna name them and throw them out there so that you can, perhaps give me a thumbs up if you have considered them. Some of them are quite obvious. So the first one that comes to mind is voice and vocality. So exploring my sound, exploring my vocal flexibility, different colors. What is it that I can express? My voice as an instrument, my voice as a perhaps character, the voices of my ancestors that are in me, the different sounds that I have. So that's kind of one aspect. Another aspect was the aspect of musicality. So melodies, exploring how to create melodies, how to create patterns, doing work with rhythm, with harmony. Then another aspect that comes to mind is, let's say, opening the mind and the freedom aspect, the wild aspect. So how to liberate myself from constraints, to be freer, more open. Another aspect that comes to me is including the body, movement, breath, the whole of the being, and not just from the neck up. And perhaps the other two aspects that I find very important, one is the relationship aspect. So even though I might be practicing on my own, to start considering, how do I relate to others? How do I get better? How do I develop more tools and capacities to connect, to respond, to complement somebody else? So to flex all of these muscles, which are not just musical or vocal muscles, but they are relational muscles, muscles about how to engage with others in the practice, which I find this is the part that I find most interesting, because it's not so self-centered. I feel more like an equal and part of an ecology, and it invites more openness in me. And then the other part, which also I would like to mention, is what I would call spirit. So the meditative part, how do I go into deep listening or silence, how to explore that element, which might not be the doing, but more the being with, the singing with, considering the bigger picture, the rest of humanity, the rest of life on Earth, past, future, how music travels and transforms in ways that we don't comprehend with mind.